Hey America, it's me. Alright, you know me, I'm always up to something. I got a dish I'm gonna try. Never done it before. Y'all know I always say that. I've never done this before. But remember the Bugs Bunny cartoons? And you had the guy, the king, saying, "Chef, bring me my Hassenpfeffer." Remember that? Where's my Hassenpfeffer? Well, I found out, guys, that Hassenpfeffer isn't a cartoon word. Hassenpfeffer actually is German for braised rabbit. Yeah, I said rabbit, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make braised rabbit, a braised rabbit dish, also called Hassenpfeffer in German, like I said before, okay guys? So this is gonna be a 2-day process. I'm gonna have to marinate today for about 24 hours, and then tomorrow when I come home, I'm gonna end up, doing the cooking, sauteing, and the braising and all of that stuff. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys check out the preparation piece first, as far as the marination, and then we'll talk about the cookeration. That ain't a word. Anyway, we'll finish this up the rest of it tomorrow, all right, guys? But before we start, let me introduce my co-stars. All right, we got right there. I'm gonna use about 12 cloves of garlic, give or take. I got these. I cheated. We cheated. We get them already done. You go to the bazaar, they're already in a little Ziploc baggie. They're already peeled. So I ain't have to go out that way. I do got some fresh over there that I can cut up myself, but why? All right, so I'm gonna use about 12 cloves of garlic. Okay, I'm gonna use about 3 onions. All right, I'm gonna use about 12 to 15 peppercorns, black peppercorns. Okay, I am gonna throw in a little bit of basil just because I like the flavor. Okay, I'm gonna use about 4 bay leaves. All right, maybe 4 bay leaves, and I'm gonna use a bottle of Chardonnay. Bottle of Chardonnay right there, right? White wine. Now, for some of y'all, it might be non-alcoholic. Don't know, dude. Anyway, I'm gonna use a bottle of Chardonnay wine. You could use Pinot Grigio if you got that, but this is all I can get a hold of, so that's what I'm gonna use. And then, here he comes. We got Bugs Bunny. Right now my daughters are like, "Ew, Daddy got a rabbit." Yeah, I got a rabbit. All right, now here the way they do it here in Kyrgyzstan, guys, is one to prove that it's a rabbit and not a dog. They will leave 1 foot on there. And yes, indeed, that is a rabbit's foot. Okay. Also, just like they do in the States, this ain't weird. When you get your rabbit, in most cases, or in some cases, I ain't gonna say most, they come along with, check it out, they are gonna come with the heart, they come with the liver, and they're gonna come with the kidneys. All right, heart, liver, kidneys. Okay. Now I'm gonna take all those and discard them. I'm not gonna use them. All right. Although you could, they're edible, but I ain't messing with those. All right, guys. Okay, you with me on this? Now, what I'm gonna have to do is cut this bad boy up. I'm gonna cut it down, break it down into serving sizes. All right. So I'm gonna take the front quarter off, the hind quarter off, and the center chest or rib portion, I'll probably cut into 3 or 4 pieces. All right. And then I'll separate the legs once I get them once I get them separated from the rest of the carcass. All right, guys. So I'm gonna take care of that, and then I'll show you everything after it's all separated, and we'll be all right. All right, guys. Once again, there's my ingredients. And there's Bugs. That's all, folks. So give me a second so I can chop this up, cut this rabbit up, and get it ready for marination. All right? All right, guys, I'm back. All right, now the rabbit's been broken down already. All right, now this is a pretty big rabbit. Ask my boss, "Hey man, bring home a rabbit." He's like, "Okay." He brings it back, Franken Bunny. This thing's freaking huge. But anyway, check it out. Broken down. Right here. Those are front legs, taken off. All right, that's the neck. I wasn't gonna use it, but it's got a lot of meat on it, so I'm gonna use it anyway. That's the torso section, ribs, okay? And then these are the back legs. You see how big the legs are? Freaking Franken Bunny. Anyway, they're already broken down. Okay, guys, it's already broken down. Now, what I'm gonna do is, and I know y'all gonna fuss at me because I always say never marinate in plastic, never marinate in metal, marinate in glass. I got that because the metal can give you some residual flavors and plastic can stain, whatever, or have some other flavors. But anyway, I'm gonna marinate in this. All right. Now, the only reason I'm marinating in that is because the only big glass container that I have ain't big enough because, like I said, I got Godzilla Bunny. It's too big to fit in there. So I'm going to marinate inside of that, okay, guys? So let me get my rabbit in there. I'm going to do my chopping, this, and my crushing and all that, and then I'll bring my marinade together and I'll let you guys check it out before I stick it in the fridge and let it sit there until tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow afternoon. Well, it's nighttime here, but I'm gonna let it marinate for about 12 to 20 hours, whatever. Pretty much overnight, and then I'll get into the cooking stuff. All right, guys, so let me do my prep work, and then I'll let y'all check it out. All right, and we'll put it all together. America about to bring it all together, okay? All my chopping and prep work's done for the most part. Here you go. Those are my onions, already chopped up, rough chop, okay? And that's my garlic, already done. You already saw the rabbit, already broken down. Chardonnay's open. I'm throwing a little bit of basil, and then throw everything else in there. All right, guys. Now, basil's going in. Like I said, once again, I just like the flavor, so I'm just gonna sprinkle some basil on top of all this. Just like that. Done. Basil's in. Alright, I'm throwing my peppercorns. Black peppercorns, about 12 to 15 of those. They're in there. Nice. Okay. I'm throwing some bay leaves. About, if they were fresh, I'd use about 3. But since these are dry, I'm using a little bit more than that. Alright, so let's go with 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's go with 2 more. 3, 4, and 5. I'm using 5 bay leaves. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. Now I'm going to throw in all of my garlic and all of my onions. One fell swoop. Get on in there. Nice. A couple onesies and twosies got to go in there. Spread that out. Okay. You with me on that? So far, so good. And last but not least, all of this bottle of Chardonnay. It's all going in there. I'm gonna let this marinate, guys, until tomorrow. Hopefully, this is enough to cover my rabbit. All right, close. I'm gonna turn this over the course of the night, maybe a couple, 3, 4 times. All right, I'm gonna turn it. That side, yeah. I'm gonna turn it a couple times over the night and tomorrow and all that when I get home from work. But that's my marinade, guys. That's it. Okay? Let that sit till tomorrow. Alright, once that sits, then tomorrow I'll do the whole browning thing and I'll explain all of that piece. Okay? But anyway, we're gonna hold what we got and we'll continue this on when you see me the next time you see me. Alright? Hey America, alright guys. This is day 2, second day, the whole Braised Rabbit thingy. Okay, let me bring you up to speed. Okay, and also talk about some ingredients. Let's do the ingredients first. All right, what I'm going to need to finish this whole thing off is I'm going to use some extra virgin olive oil and some butter. Okay, salt and pepper. Obviously, I'm salt and pepper my rabbit once I get it separated from my marinade and dry it off and everything. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to need some flour to make me sort of kind of like a roux, but to thicken my braising liquid. Okay, and then obviously I'm going to need my rabbit. Let me remember this from yesterday. Here it is. Alright, now this has been marinating. Let me back off some. This has been marinating since yesterday. Okay, if you guys remember all the ingredients and all that, the Chardonnay and the onions and the garlic and the bay leaves and the seasonings and stuff, alright? So this is the next day, the following day. Alright guys, now, what I'm going to do, and well, I'll just show you guys while I'm doing it, okay? What I'm going to do at first is I'm going to take my rabbit out of my marinating liquid, alright? I'm going to put it off to the side on paper towels, okay? Because I'm going to paper towel it all dry because I'm going to brown it. And you can't really brown wet liquid. Wet meat, so I'm going to dry it off. Put it on paper towels, I'm going to dry all this meat off. Alright guys? So once I do this, let's get all this out of here. Once I do this, then we'll move on to the next step. Alright guys, you with me on that one? Okay, so hold fast and let me get all this rabbit, this great marinated rabbit meat out of here. And then we'll continue on. Alright? Okay, cool. Alright America, we're back. Check it out. Alright, since you've been gone, that's my rabbit. It's been separated from the marinade. It's been patted dry with paper towels because, like I said before, it's hard to brown meat that's wet, so I dried that off. We'll see that piece in a minute, okay? Also, while you were away, I separated the vegetables, all that garlic and all those onions and the black peppercorns and all that stuff. I separated it from that Chardonnay that's been marinating all night. So I got the marination liquid down there, and these are the vegetables. I'm going to use all of it. Now, the thing is, the Chardonnay and this chicken stock is going to end up being my braising liquid. Alright guys, so the next thing I'm going to do is throw some extra virgin olive oil and some butter into my pan and bring that up to temperature a little bit, because I want to use the butter for flavor. I want to use the extra virgin olive oil also for flavor, but it's also going to lower the flash point for my butter so it won't burn. Alright guys, and increase the temperature that it can withstand. Alright guys, let me get that going and I'll be right back. America, here's my oil. My oil and my butter. Alright. Got it going pretty good. Now I'm going to start browning my meat. Okay, I'm going to go with the biggest pieces first. I season it with salt and pepper. So I'm going to go season side down. I'm not going to overcrowd my pan because you won't get any browning. So if you got a whole rabbit like I do, I'm going to end up doing this in batches. Alright guys? I ain't going to be able to do it all at once. I'll put one more piece in here. Continue doing the rabbit until I get it all brown. I'll be back once I get it all done. Alright guys? Alright guys, my rabbit's coming along nicely. Only got in 2 legs and part of the torso piece. There you go. Browning up all real nice and pretty. Okay, it's wonderful. I still got the rest of this to go. Alright, still got to finish that up. But the reason I cranked this back up is I want to talk about something. Some recipes that you'll find when you talk about braising a rabbit, they'll tell you to flour your rabbit and then brown it that way, guys. I'm deciding not to do it that way, because if I brown it with flour, I'm going to end up browning the flour and not my meat, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to brown my meat so it's nice and brown, and then remove it from the heat, and then I'm going to use flour a little bit later on. You guys will see that process, kind of like a roux. That's going to be my thickening agent as opposed to putting flour on my meat, okay? I want the meat to brown and not the flour. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. Okay, anyway, I'm going to stop this. I'll crank back up once I get all the meat done. I'll show you how it looks, and then I'll continue on. Alright, America, here we go. We'll get you back up to speed here. This is my rabbit. Take a look at that. How nicely brown that is. How pretty. Alright, my rabbit's all brown. Now, I'm going to show you the inside of my pot. You see inside the pot, you got all those dark bits, those little crusty bits that stuck to the bottom. Guys, that's flavor. And I'm going to want that. What I'm going to do is, the vegetables that I separated, I'm going to cook them in the same oil that I had before. Alright, just going to drop them in. With all that garlic, onions, and all that good stuff that I marinated in, separated from the juice. Alright, separated from the wine. That's the wine right there. Alright guys, what I'm going to do is stir fry these. No, not stir fry them. I'm going to saute these bad boys until they're translucent, pretty much getting kind of clear. Let me get to that point, then I'll explain the rest to you as we go. Alright guys, take a look at my pot. Alright, my vegetables are a little bit, they're translucent, they're good to go. Haven't quite deglazed the bottom of my pan yet, but I'm working on that piece, alright? Remember the whole flour thing I talk about not putting on my meat? I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of flour to my onions right now. I'm going to kind of make myself a roux. Alright, maybe 2 tablespoons or so heaping. That's 1. That's 2. Alright guys, there you go. I'm just going to stir this around and then cook that up for a little while. 1, it's going to make me a roux. It's going to thicken everything up once I add my liquid. Alright, 2, I'm cooking the flour flavor out of it, because you guys know how flour tastes, and I don't want that flavor in my food. So I'm going to cook this for a minute to get that pasty old flour flavor out of it. Alright guys, let me stir this around for a little bit, and then I'll show you guys when I actually throw in my deglazing liquid, which is going to be that wine that I marinated in. Alright guys? Sorry for the banging. Alright guys? Okay, cool.